Hello everybody, we are back with Railway Empire 2, scenario number 2, Star Logistics. Alright, let's look at what we need to do. We need to have a balance of 150,000 a week, and we have currently 209, so we're good that way. And the second one is we need to have 400,000 citizens to our rail network. We're 363, so we have to grow our cities a bit because we have them all already connected. And then for June, next year, we need to have, actually 2 years away, we need to have 12 loads of liquor via Huntingdon's Warehouse. And so, we already have the Huntingdon Warehouse thing set up, so it's going to go as soon as Indianapolis grows. Right now it's at 43,000, so it's going to have to grow to 60,000 before it's going to start shipping things out. We already have it fully stocked with everything it needs, so it's just a matter of just waiting it out. And then the middle one was 400,000 citizens. So next thing we're going to do here is build a warehouse. And I think we're going to pick this wood right here. Build a warehouse that will serve these two and even maybe Fayetteville. The only thing we're going to be missing is alcohol. And we'll have to ship that in from further away. There's nothing I can do about it because we have meat here. We have cloth and we have cloth there. And we even have cloth down here. So the only alcohol is Nashville or Indianapolis. So maybe Indianapolis over the top. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll lay down warehouse. We'll put it here. So second thing we're going to want to do is put a warehouse here in Columbia. Then we're going to go ahead and put one over here in Kansas City. So Columbia's got our meat and Kansas City has our cloth. So we went ahead and put a line between them. Notice we kind of piggybacked on this express line above, and there was also a supply tower there, so we saved building that, saved a bit of money. So we'll go ahead and put our train on there. It will move back cloth from one side and meat to the other. We have our line set up now for Norris Warehouse in the Kansas City. So we threw 2 trains on that to get going. It's only going to move wood at first, and we also bought the wood because it was a pretty good price. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. We now have our line set up from Norris Warehouse to Columbia. So we got our 2 trains on there, so they'll be getting wood very soon. Before we get too carried away, we're going to put a freight station down here at Fayetteville. Otherwise, we're going to forget all about putting one there. Now we have our Norris Warehouse down to Fayetteville freight line. So we got 2 trains on that. Now we have our corn coming into Norris Warehouse. So we'll put 3 trains on that.
With all the citizens flocking to the region, I have to worry about population growth in my own projects. After all, it was specifically for the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway that I founded the little town of Huntingdon in West Virginia. Now, don't look at me like that. Of course I named it after myself. After all, I do all the work here.
We decided to buy the milk down here, coal station. So now we're bringing in our trains with it to Norris Warehouse. I noticed there was a generous bonus from the Brown station up here. So we brought that into Kansas City. We threw our train on in here. So now we're going to bring in our cattle into Columbia Freight. The closest sugar was pretty far away here in Miller Rest, but we had no choice. So we're bringing in 3 trains into Norris. We're going to go ahead and pick up this fruit right close by to the sugar and just piggyback on the same line. So we threw our 3 trains on that. Now we're bringing in our vegetables into our Norris Warehouse. So we got our 3 trains on that. So we decided to buy the grain up at Scott Station. And now we're just throwing our 3 trains on that. As soon as we get the money, of course. So we came down to Fayetteville through another station just to avoid jumping across tracks. And we're bringing in our wool, and of course they'll throw some wood on there too, I'm sure. So we ran a line from Indianapolis way over to Columbia with our alcohol because none of these 3 cities had that. And so now we have a warehouse in Columbia that's going to feed down to Fayetteville. So we got our trains there. And that should take care of these 3 cities with the basic goods anyways, up to 45,000 I believe. The next thing I had to do was increase my production at the distillery here in Indianapolis. So of course I had to buy it because it wasn't increasing on its own quick enough. And then I also had to buy the fruit because it wasn't producing enough either. So we bumped up both and we'll see, maybe we'll have to bump them up again. I noticed that there was connection bonus for the salt here, so we went ahead and bought it, and we're shipping in St. Louis, who will then kick it out to Nashville and Memphis. We're going to go ahead and bring salt into Louisville, who will then kick it up to Indianapolis.
Another step on our way. The requested goods have just arrived via the warehouse. I may have underestimated you. At this point, you are moving in the right direction. The cities in your network are growing, but we are still a long way from the end. My current project in West Virginia has great importance for the East Coast. There are large coal reserves there that are urgently needed in population centers like New York and Boston.
Okay, so what did we do this time? We bought the distillery and the brewery in Indianapolis. We bumped up the distillery, we bought the fruit and Howard Rest, bumped that up quite a bit. So then Huntingdon now is getting liquor all the time. So it's got clothing liquor, it's distributing throughout the major cities. So our next, Louisville's warehouse. St. Louis has a secondary warehouse as well, and so does Columbia. And we're using them. We also bought the salt and kicking that to the major secondary warehouses. And we set up Norris Warehouse to serve Kansas City, Columbia, Fayetteville. We did buy the milk. We bought the wood. And we bought Scott Station up here. If you enjoyed this, like, comment, subscribe. Come back and watch another great video of Like and Me Gaming.